Dr. Robinson, I asked you earlier how one qualifies as being fully human, and you responded by saying that no one becomes a human, or that someone does become a human at the moment of birth. And I found that absolutely stunning, since you are not a political activist or an advocate, but you present yourself and purport to be a medical doctor. Your answers deny the plain truth of science and medical technology that anyone can see and understand, even if they don't have a medical degree. Obviously, I don't need to cite volumes of medical journals to prove the fact that an unborn child is a human being. As the Life Training Institute summarizes, quote, "From the earliest stages of development, the unborn are distinct, living, and whole human beings. They are not mere parts of larger human beings like skin cells are, but whole human entities capable of directing their own internal growth and development. This is not just a religious view, but a matter of the science of embryology." In its 1859 report on criminal abortion, the American Medical Association, no less, acknowledged that, quote, "The independent and actual existence of the child before birth as a living being was a scientific truth. Nothing has changed since that time. For more than 150 years, doctors have known that life begins at conception." A 1981 report to the United States Senate states, quote, "Physicians, biologists, and other scientists agree that conception marks the beginning of the life of a human being, and a being that is alive is a member of the human species. There is overwhelming agreement on this point in countless medical, biological, and scientific writings," unquote. So there's a picture up here. This is not a mere clump of cells. This is not an animal or some unknown species. Ma'am, that's a human being. And all of you here are confusing human value with human function. You are defining personhood by what somebody does rather than what they are. Scott Klusendorf summarized it this way. He said, although human beings differ immensely with respect to talents, accomplishments, and degrees of development, they are nonetheless equal because they share a common human nature. Humans have value simply because they are human. And if you deny this, it's difficult to say why objective human rights should apply to anyone. As I noted earlier, it is a self-evident truth that all human beings are made by their Creator and endowed by Him with certain inalienable rights. The first listed in our Declaration is the right to life. Since the medical doctor here wants to deny the facts and reality, let me ask the abortion advocate, Ms. Armbide, to answer my questions on this subject. Ma'am, you testified that you are, quote, "unapologetic in seeking unrestricted abortion access." So I'm wondering, at what point is it not okay to abort a child? What age of gestation?
I trust all people to determine what they can and can't do with their bodies, full stop.
Okay.
I also believe that human rights, including access to the medical care that they need within their communities, is something that should be afforded everyone.
Great. Okay, so you support late-term abortion?
I support all people and trust
That means
people.
late-term abortion. Do you support partial birth abortion? In other words, the child is half delivered, and then the woman says, "My right, I want to take that one out." You support that?
I trust people to make decisions about their body.
Wow, okay. What about, so abortion should be allowed then, by your definition, for any reason, for any purpose, at any stage, right?
I trust people to make decisions about their body, and then when relevant, I think that they need to consult their medical practitioners.
Okay.
And not
If it is,
Congress.
listen, let me just ask you this question. If it is not lawful and morally acceptable to take the life of a 10-year-old child, I assume you agree with that, right? That would be wrong, correct?
I believe that
Okay,
that is
and
wrong.
a 2-year-old child, same thing, that would be murder. We would all agree that's wrong. Then what is the principal distinction between the human being that is 2 years old, or 9 months old, or 1 week old, or an hour old, than one that is 8 inches further up the birth canal in the utero? What's the difference? Why is it okay in the latter case and not the former cases?
I trust people to determine what to do with their own bodies.
Wow.
Full stop.
Wow, full stop indeed. And that describes right there exactly what this is about. There's a legal issue here, but underneath that is a moral issue. It's about reality. It's about science, the advancement of medical technology. You're talking about unborn children. And your full stop is that you will support the termination of that child at any time. And that is frightening. And that is why this decision should be turned to the popular will of the people, and hopefully they'll protect the sanctity of every single human life and live up to the standards of our Declaration of Independence.